So I was sitting around thinking, and it's been a few days since I've uploaded, and I'm trying to grow this channel. And I was thinking, okay, to my younger self, what would I do if I was struggling to find my way? And guess what? My younger self was struggling to find this way. I don't know if you can hear the fan, so let me turn it down. But things I would do if I were in my 20s, or things I should have done when I was in my 20s to attempt to find my way. Let's go. I would sample everything that I possibly could if I was in my 20s, early 20s, teens, especially if there wasn't a college path for me to go to. And there was. I got accepted into a college back home in Chicago, and I didn't go. Yeah, reasons don't need to be said why I didn't go. But if you don't have a path set out for you, let's say you're not a super duper athlete, you're not jumping out the gym, you're not running like crazy 40-yard dash times, what should you do? Well, if you don't know what you're passionate about, you're gonna have to sample. And a lot of it will depend on human design, how you design. Like, I'm a manifesting generator, so I sample a lot of stuff. I do a lot of different things. It's just because I'm designed that way to do stuff. But it will depend on that, obviously. What the heck was that noise? So I would sample. I would try things. Photography, videography, art, music, and whatever else you can think of. Now, I think if you sample in your 20s, and rather quickly, right, figure out if you, well, let's be real, you'll know if you love something the minute you try it, and if it's worth something, or if it's something that you can actually stick with on the long term. You'll know right away. And I would ask myself, whatever I choose to do, is this something that I can stick to for years? Through failure, through success, through the ups and the downs, because personal life is going to happen when you're trying to make it in anything. And those are the things that you got to think about, because while you're young, especially if you don't have responsibility, I didn't have kids till my late 20s, you have the opportunity to go through the bumps in the road without much riding on your back. The other thing that I would do if I was in my 20s and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and circumstances, right, I would travel. I would go to Mexico. I would go to Paris. I was actually going to go to Paris when I was like 23, 24, but it just didn't pan out for me. I forgot what happened. Something came up and I didn't end up going. Yeah, those 4 years of French in high school were severely wasted. But I would see the world, experience different cultures, experience a different way of life, of well-being, because the life here in the States isn't the only life that's readily available to you. The other thing I would do in my 20s, if life wasn't in the way and you don't have responsibilities, is I would save a lot of money. I would invest. Now, everyone will say invest in markets. That's not realistic. A more realistic thing is to invest in property. I would scrape up everything that I could and I would start buying real estate in my 20s. Now, if you're in your 20s right now, this is what I personally think. I think commercial real estate is something that everybody should think about trying to get into, because if the world does move into the online space and the AI, these places are going to need somewhere for servers. Amazon will need somewhere for servers. I got a building for you. Medical probably won't go away, and let's face it, the medical industry is only going to grow, at least here in the States. Right? It's a big business. I would buy commercial real estate, lease that to the big boys, and free yourself. And you probably think, oh, what if my credit's crap? Start an LLC, start a corporation, and work through that. Just some tips and tricks that I would do in my 20s. If you want a part 2, let me know. Like, share this video, leave it in the comments, and I'll do a part 2. Wish you all health, wealth, success. God bless, and cheers.